Hey guys, what's up? It's Howard from AppFind here. Today I'm going to be showing you everything about iOS 7, all of the features, a complete overview, everything that they unveiled today at the WWDC 2013 June 10th conference. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be showing you guys everything that they told us about iOS 7, showing you guys some pictures of iOS 7, and it's going to be really great, and let me know what you think of iOS 7 in the comments down below. I definitely think it looks great, but I look forward to hearing from all of you. Let's take a look right now. So the first thing we got here is we do have the new iOS 7 logo. Now it does look very sleek. I love all the different colors, the design, and it's very simplistic just to show you what iOS 7 is going for. Now it is going to be coming this fall, and it's going to be available for the iPhone 4 and later, the iPad 2 and later, the iPad mini, and the iPod Touch 5th generation. Now here is what your lock screen looks like. It's a little bit different. It doesn't have that little slide to unlock bar. It just has a slide to unlock area, so you just slide there to unlock. You can also notice at the bottom right hand corner we do have a photos section where you can actually, or camera section where you can actually take photos, and you can also swipe up for the new control panel, which we'll show you guys in just a second. So as you can see here, this is what the icons look like now. They are a lot more clean, a lot more simple. They're more of a flat design as opposed to the more rounded designs that they used to have with iOS 6 and past iOS versions. Here's just another image of a few of these iPhones all running iOS 7, and I definitely think it does look really great. Now, they haven't deviated too far from the original home screen that much, but it definitely looks a lot cleaner than what it used to be. So if you take a look right here, what we're going to have is, this is basically the folders, and the folders are a lot more simplistic as opposed to the folders just popping up. There's apps everywhere, half cut off by the screen. As you can see here, it just opens up a whole new folder. And basically you're able to put as many apps in here as you want. You got you can actually swipe to access different pages within the folder itself. As you can see, it just has a lot more sleek design when you're looking at these folders right here. Now right here we have some of these really cool logos and icons, that is to say, for some of the new apps and features in iOS 7. We've got the control panel, we've got Safari list on here, music, App Store, just to name a few, and we got all these. We're going to be going over a little bit more in depth in just a second. So what we want to talk about is the Control Center, which is definitely one of the biggest things that they just announced. The Control Center is basically this little area, and if you're familiar with SB settings, it's very similar to this, where you swipe up at the bottom of the screen and out pops this whole area where you can access all these different controls, music controls, you can switch back and forth between apps, you can do all these amazing things right here from this very, very easy to access control panel. Now, as you can see at the bottom, you do have your flashlight, you have compass, calculator, and your camera, which are definitely a lot of things that you might want to access very quickly. Now, the other thing that it has is it has these AirPlay and AirDrop controls, which let you AirPlay out. It also lets you AirDrop back and forth, which is similar to some Dropbox, that kind of thing. As you can see above that, we have the media controls, which are pretty much the same standard media controls that you had before on previous iOS versions. We do have the brightness, which is really great that you can access it this easily. And here's what everybody's been dying for, and which was actually in SB settings, which is what people used to jailbreak with, is all these different settings functions at the top. You can lock, you can basically change the brightness from day to night. You can also access Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and airplane mode right from here, right in the settings module, which is definitely really great. Now, there's a couple improvements to Notification Center. Overall, it seems to stay a little bit of the same, but they have these new categories at the top where it says Today, All, and Missed. You can take a look at all the different messages and all that different stuff that happened overall, the different things you didn't get to, and then everything that just happened today, because you might want to just look at what happened that day itself. Now, the next thing that they updated was Siri. Now, Siri has a total UI overhaul. It doesn't look like they're adding a lot of new features, but the overall design and feel of Siri definitely looks a lot better, a lot more crisp, and a lot more clean, which is what they're really trying to go for with iOS 7. So if you take a look here, there are different ways you can access all these different movies. It just shows them in a lot more sleek manner, a lot more clean, as opposed to the old previous Siri models where it's just this kind of like slate in the background. Now it shows it with these nice blurs and different clean mattes and everything, so it looks really good. You can obviously post to Twitter. You can have instant access to Wikipedia. They've got a lot of great stuff here. Now we're going to get into a little bit more of the design. As you can see, the keyboard is a little bit different than what it used to be. It's a lot more clean, and that's something that we're going to be bringing up a while now, is it looks clean. Everything about iOS 7 looks a lot more crisp and clean and less cluttered than the previous iOS versions. If you take a look here, the world clock is a little bit different, not as much different as some of these other apps and these different features that are vastly different from the previous iOS versions, but it does have this pretty significant difference to it. Now, if you take a look here, what you can see is we do have a different messages. It makes it look, like I said, crisp, clean, and overall a much better way to access your messages. Before, they had these little bubbles, and that seemed kind of outdated. Now, if you take a look here, it just looks so much better. It looks so much more fresh and new, and that's what we wanted to see. That's what we needed to see with iOS, with the iOS 7. So if you take a look here, we have the new weather app, which usually I use different weather apps, but I might be going right back to Apple with this because I definitely think that iOS 7 weather app looks pretty cool. They have everything. They've got the background displayed, and if you guys know, the last weather app was absolutely horrendous. I mean, it was good for its time, but it was never updated. But if you take a look here, this looks amazing. It's such a great new way that you can take a look at the weather app. So now the next thing that you're going to take a look at is the calendars. Now the calendars are a little bit more designed towards a much more simpler aspect. So if you take a look here, you can actually see that you can change, you can switch back and forth, you can add new events, add new things to your calendar, and it looks a lot more Google Calendars-esque, but with adding some of those Apple elements that you know and love as well. Now, there are some changes when it comes to using the phone function of your phone. It looks a lot more sleek. As you guys know, they really haven't updated the phone in a while, maybe not even since the first iOS. So if you take a look here, it does have this nice new user interface where the buttons aren't as brick. They're actually like little circles. Everything looks a lot better to swipe to answer, the call. Everything just looks a lot more modern and new. Now, if you take a look over here, you do have a new magazine set up for newsstand, that is to say. It does look a lot more better than the old newsstand, which would pop up with this really weird, basically shelves kind of appeal, and it would pop in the middle of the screen. I definitely like this new newsstand, and hopefully you can put it in a folder because that's what we've wanted. But anyways, it does look pretty cool. Now, we do have a totally new game center. Now, this is the one thing. This is the one change, or not the one change, but one of the changes that I actually don't really like. I think the Game Center doesn't look as good as it could have been. I think it looks a little too, well, not too simple, but a little too just plain. So if you take a look here, it's got all the different games and stuff and the friends, and it seems not as exciting as the old Game Center. So that's really the only feature that I was a little bummed out about, was the Game Center. But overall, you're not going to be spending a ton of time in Game Center anyways, so it does look good. I'm just saying that's the only thing I've really seen here that's so far that's been kind of a downgrade. So if you take a look, we also have the new inbox. Now this is phenomenal. What we've seen is we've seen all these different apps like Gmail, Mailbox, all of these different apps try and come up, and people have been saying, yeah, this is better than Outlook, the regular mail client for the iPhone. So Apple had to step up their game and say, here, you know what, we're going to be making the best mail client for the iPhone. It does look like they've done a pretty good job with that as well. Now the Stocks app has been changed. Not going to talk a ton about that, but it does look cool and it's a lot more sleek. Same thing as all these other new apps. Now Safari. Safari has a lot of changes, a lot of cool interfaces. They have the full screen interface and a smart search field. So if you take a look here, it does have this little search field where you can actually just search much more easily. It just got that simple refresh button at the top, and down at the bottom it has all of the different switching and all that stuff, and everything really focused in at the bottom in that area there. So that definitely adds another cool feature. Now, you can actually access some of your history and some of your most visited sites just by swiping through. Now, this is something similar to what we've seen in other devices, but this is a really good way to actually preview the different content. So maybe you don't remember what a specific site is. You can just scroll through and then choose where you want to go. That's definitely a really great feature that I love to try in Safari in iOS 7. We'll be back with more iOS 7 features right after the break. This video is brought to you by AppNana. Be sure to go to appnana.com/appfind to get 10,000 free nanas. Nanas let you get paid apps, iTunes gift cards, Amazon gift cards, and a lot more, all by installing free apps which give you nanas. Register for an account and you'll get 10,000 nanas just by using appnana.com/appfind. Everything's right here on the screen and also in the description. Now what you're going to be able to do is get nanas by downloading free apps. When you download these free apps, you get points which you can exchange for either paid apps, iTunes gift cards, Amazon gift cards, and a lot more. Here's an example. We're going to install hotels.com. All you got to do is install and open the app, and it's going to mark you as downloading the app. We just got 3,900 more nanas just by downloading that app. You can do this multiple times, but be sure to put in my invitation code A445859, and you'll get 2,500 more nanas on top of the original 10,000 by using appnana.com/appfind. This will give you 12,500 app nanas total. You'll be able to exchange these for iTunes gift cards, Amazon gift cards, and much, much more. appnana.com/appfind. Now, the camera app has been updated, and all you guys out there who love Instagram, love Vine, love all of these really cool social video sharing sites and all that stuff, this is totally for you. They've made it a lot more simple, a lot more simplistic. Take a look at just the video capturing, which is something I love to do. If you take a look, it's just got that red button at the bottom. At the top, it displays the time. You can switch the camera. It just looks a lot more simplistic, and if you guys remember, they had kind of like different areas that filled the screen a little bit more, so you couldn't see everything on the screen. If you take a look here, there's really only that small red button and the little preview icon at the bottom left. Everything else is either see-through or at least a little bit see-through, and you can actually see everything that you're recording. Same thing goes for the new the photo, and you can actually take photos that are square, so you can upload those straight to Instagram. So you can take square photos, and that's pretty cool that they added that Instagram. They're staying on top of things. They know what the user wants. You can also take regular photos and panoramas and all that stuff, and it's not as see-through as what the other one was. It's actually opaque, but if you take a look here, it still looks like a really great camera overall. Now, there is the inclusion of being able to add your own tones and effects to your images. Now, it's not going to be as big as some of these other apps that you might pay 99 cents for to get all the cool features, but it still does look like a really good design to put in, and I definitely recommend giving it a try if you want to check it out. So they also have a lot more social interactions with photos. You can actually share photos with friends. If you take a look here, you can look at moments. You can see everything. You can share photos through AirDrop. You can actually drop them to somebody else's phone and they can accept it and they can see those photos. So that's a really cool feature and a really cool way to have the iPhone be a little bit more social, and I love that. Now the next thing that you can see here is we also have, you can see through the years, all the photos you've taken through the years. So that's another cool feature. Now, it's not something you're going to be using every day, but it's something, one of those small things, those little things that Apple includes just to make it a better UI overall. You can still do iCloud and shared streams, even if you don't want to use AirDrop, which seems like it's more of the modern way to just send stuff instantly to people. But if you want shared streams, you can be totally synced with other people at the same time. They've obviously done a total rehaul over that UI and made it look a lot better. Now, App Store, App Store, App Store. This looks amazing. It looks like a lot more fluid, a lot better. Now, as you guys know, they did rehaul it earlier from the really old version that they had before in iOS 6. They overhauled it. But now if you take a look here, you can see that it has a lot more cool features. And one of the favorite things that I just cannot wait for is automatic updates. You guys don't even know. When you have 600 apps, or actually you probably all do know, but when you have all of those apps, 600 apps is like what I have on my phone. But if you guys, how many apps do you have? Maybe you have 100 or something like that. All of those updates are really hard to manage. So automatic updates that do it when you have a significant amount of battery, and you can change these settings later on, and when you're not really doing anything, it'll update them in the background, and it'll make sure to maximize battery, maximize everything, do it when you don't really aren't really doing anything, so it's not going to slow anything down. And I think that that's just an amazing feature to add with this iOS 7 update. Now, a really cool feature they have that's brand new is Popular Near Me. Now, you can actually see what people are playing or what apps people are using near you. Now, this is very good if you're in a work environment or you're at school or something like that, and what you're able to do is you're able to see what your friends are playing, because every game's a little bit more fun if you're trying to compete against your friends, get all the high scores. So if you know what everybody in your college or high school is playing, you can actually play that same app, and it's a little more social way. So somebody finds an app, you'll know before they even tell you that they're playing that cool new app. So I think that's definitely a pretty cool function along with this. Now, they've added a lot of cool new features to music. They've totally redone everything and added a couple new features in of itself. If you take a look here, music does have that new sleek UI. As you can see, it does have all of these basically white, plain, simple, and very easy to access controls that just makes it look so much better from the previous design that it had before. Now, you can do the same thing with TV shows, but one of the things we wanted to show you right now is iTunes Radio, which is something I've been waiting for forever. Now, it is completely free with ads, but you get ad-free listening if you are an iTunes Match subscriber. You get that and iTunes Radio, both of them, and that's definitely really cool. And when you listen to a song, you can tell it you like the song or you don't like the song. You can add different radio stations. You can start radio stations. You can hit play more like this, never play this song, add to the iTunes wish list, which is new as well. So you create a wish list from iRadio, and you can look at that wish list later on and buy all the songs that you liked on iRadio. Now, obviously, it's kind of a ploy to get you to buy more iTunes songs, but I'll use it. I mean, it's giving you some free music listening with a couple ads, and then you can actually find more music that you like so you can actually purchase it later on. So like I said before, it does have these push triggers and opportunistic updates when it updates its applications automatically. That's what I talked about before. And one of the other cool things is app switching is totally new. You open up this whole new screen to switch apps, and you can see at the bottom here, you can swipe through to see all the different apps, but above that is a little image of every single app that's open, so you can see a preview before you even open that. That's just like OXO was for the iPhone if you had a jailbroken iPhone or something like that. What you're able to do is you're able to see a little preview of every single app that you have open, so you can switch instantly to the app that you want to open, which is definitely a really cool feature, and I've been looking forward to this, and they have it, so I'm going to be using this a lot. Now, another cool thing that they hinted at is they're going to be having iOS, the official iOS for cars. Yes, you heard me right, iOS for cars. So new cars, even by the likes of Ferrari, they have a lot of different manufacturers as well, and lower-end manufacturers. But they have all of these cars in 2014 are going to be coming out with the iOS built right into the car. And that's definitely really cool. They've got a lot of great features. Obviously, they have Apple Maps, which is kind of a little bit contested. But I think they have improved it. But basically, they have an iOS built right into your car, and that is just really cool, especially because of the fact that you can sync it with your iPhone, reply to messages, all that stuff right in your car's dashboard. Now, another feature that people have been asking for a while is being able to make sure that your iPhone is more protected if it's lost. So lost mode gives it the ability to find your iPhone a lot more easily, as you can see here. But the other cool thing, and what a lot of people have been talking about, is this really great new feature that's going to make sure your iPhone never gets stolen. All right, so this Activate iPhone feature. What this is going to do is if your iPhone gets stolen, right? And, well, it's not going to make sure it never get stolen, but it's going to make sure that people have less of an incentive to steal it. So if you try to wipe the iPhone, as you guys know, if somebody tries to steal an iPhone, they can wipe it, or on the previous iOS, and then install their own selves and their own profile. So basically, they only can't access your profile. Well, with this new Activate iPhone, The first iPhone Apple ID you use to erase the phone, so say you remotely erase the phone, if you lose the phone, you remotely erase the phone, the only way you can activate the iPhone, even by completely wiping it, is to enter the Apple ID that was used to erase the iPhone. And that is genius. That's brilliant. What that means is no one's going to be able to steal your iPhone and then completely wipe it and start anew. They're going to have to activate it having your permission. The only way they can have that is if they have your username and password. So that is a brilliant move on Apple's part. I definitely think that's really cool. So as you can see here, there's a couple more iOS 7 features that they have. They've got notification sync, FaceTime audio, activation lock. They've got per app VPN. They have FaceTime, message blocking, all these different cool things. Everything's built into iOS 7, which is going to be coming out in fall of this year, 2013, probably with the next iPhone, or definitely with the next iPhone. We don't know if it's going to be the iPhone 5S or iPhone 6 yet. Once again, I'm out from AppFind. Thank you guys for watching this video. I know it was a little bit lengthy, but be sure to share this with your friends. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure they'll appreciate it too by being able to learn all of the cool new Apple technology that's coming out with iOS 7. Once again, I'm out from AppFind. Don't forget to subscribe. I will see you guys later. Bye.